Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Now, first of all, you have created the supervisory organizations. And can I know your initials for the same? Anyone can tell me the initials, those who have created the supervisory organizations so that everyone can see it. You can use mine, ma'am, like you can use the WD space drive TLIB. This is the aggregate corporation, that's the supervisor. So, talking about our supervisory organization, Agritech Corporation has subordinates with executive as executive management. Everyone with me. If anyone doesn't see the structure like this, just raise your hand or just interrupt me in between. So division everyone and then Hyderabad local. So now, since this is a training tenant, you won't get the exact price. You won't get the exact primary location, but whenever you are working, you have to allocate. Whenever you are working in a client, you have to allocate the exact primary location only. Means Hyderabad if it is Hyderabad location in the tenant itself. No, yes, that's what. Because this primary location we have created as Hyderabad local and then we have added to it. So if you have created, also then see. If you have created, then create it with the same name Hyderabad. Then so division, Hyderabad was there. That is the reason we want to put some difference on that part. So that's not an issue. I'm just telling you like if it is mentioned somewhere. So you have to take the same location only. If you didn't find it, go back to the requirement. Who has given you the requirement, whether it's client or you are giving any exam or anything. So if you didn't find anything and it is not mentioned in your requirement document to create it, you can go back and ask who has given you the requirement that what's going to be the primary location, whether I have to create it or I can use this one. So a staffing model. Everyone should have this position management staffing model because in our requirement document it is mentioned that the topmost supervisory organization will have staff position management staffing model. Now, coming back to our executive. Sorry, in our organization assignments, I can say that organization assignments, it's a group of companies and a group of call center as mentioned in our requirement. Now, why you haven't defaulted the companies here? What's the default company that should be there for this agrotech companies? Can anyone tell me? It was been showing as Agrotech India and Agrotech Germany, but the reason it was not defaulted here because it was allowing to select only one company. So even the currency for Agrotech India would be INR and then for Germany it would be Euro. I'm sorry, I was on mute. I was talking on mute. So see this company, the Agrotech company. So if I'm going by the company is the entity I have told you. Just it's based on your location, basically. For example, Deloitte is a company in Deloitte India, Deloitte USA, say Deloitte UK, or its various entity, Eagle entity. So that means Deloitte USA will have the company as the USA one. Its company hierarchy will be Deloitte. So I'm going to assign Deloitte as a Lloyd organization. Then if I'm talking about the corporation here, what's my location? It's Hyderabad. So Deloitte India is going to be my default organization. That's what it's mentioned in our paper, faulted company. For example, here, what's the company that I have? I have company Agrotech India. Fine. So based on my, and it is written clearly here, based on company is. See, here it is written company. You are going. Default organization is going to be based on your supervisory organization primary location. And cost center, it's going to be based on supervisory organization's function. It's mentioning a requirement document as well, and usually always remember, usually this happens. No one is going to tell you. In that case, if at all, client has told you fine, I want this cost center company to be defaulted, it's fine. If they have already provided you, fair if they haven't provided you. Take this as a consideration base to assign company and cost center. It's going to be based on supervisory organization, primary location, default company and default cost center, based on the supervisory organization and function. This whenever you are having design sessions or whenever you are doing discussing with the client as well. Regarding the requirement order, the design sessions, you can ask them what's if they haven't told you this stuff of, if they haven't touched this stuff, you can ask them what's going to be the default company. What's going to be the default cost center? How you want to default the company and cost center for your supervisory organization? Or do you want to default them or not? Sometimes it happens, they don't want to get it defaulted. Now coming on the default organizations based on the supervisory organization primary location here. What's my supervisory primary location is Hyderabad, that means India. So what's going to be my cause? Company. It's going to be Agrotech India that we have created here above Agrotech India under our hierarchy. Correct. This Agrotech India now going to. What's the actual function between the default organization? What it will do is, whenever they will hire any person or any employee under our Agrotech Corporation, the organization of that particular employee will be defaulted to Agrotech India. But you remember, in your higher business process, you have a step known as change organization assignments. You remember? So whenever a person will be hired, it will be defaulted. The particular security group will get that task, change organization assignments for worker, and in that automatically Agrotech India will be defaulted. But since the task is change organization assignments, you can always change it. You can always change it from Agrotech India to Agrotech Germany or any other company. Now can anyone tell me what all companies I can change or I can assign to an employee when I'm hiring? Can anyone tell me if I am hiring, for example, in this members in this all corporation? I have to hire Sanjaya Beaver. I will start hiring for Sanjaya Beaver, and Sanjaya Beaver will have a company Agrotech India. When the HR admin will have that task in within the higher change organization assignment. So if they want to change the company to USA, can they do it for Sanjaya Beaver? Can they change the company to USA? Yes? No, because the allowed organization is Agrotech companies. So whatever goes in this hierarchy, whatever companies are in this hierarchy, only that will be allowed. Very good. So only the companies that are allowed under this company hierarchy. You can only change them or you can give it to the employee. Agrotech India is defaulted. If you want to go ahead and change it to Agrotech Germany, because there are only 2 companies. If there are 3, you can also assign the third one. But in our Agrotech company's company hierarchy, we only have 2 companies. So I can go ahead and change it to Agrotech Germany as well, but not apart from Germany and India. Nothing. I can go ahead and change it because here I have clearly mentioned for this supervisory organization, only allowed organization are Agrotech company. Am I clear now? Do anyone has any type of doubt related to default or allowed organization? Because definitely you will get the questions around these only in your interviews as well. I have a question. For the project you have given, Agrotech Corporation is the topmost superior organization and Sanjaya is the CEO and employee of that organization. And then we have subordinates as executive. So do I have to default the organization both in corporation and in executive? Yes, coming to that. Yes, you have to, because each and every supervisory organization will have their own organization, company, and cost centers. I cannot report all the cost centers or all the expenses to one cost center. My client can ask me to assign different cost center to the different supervisory organizations. Some team sitting in the Hyderabad needs to report their expenses to one cost center and the other team sitting at the Bangalore location can report their expenses to some other cost center. So it entirely depends upon the client, but how you are going to default that only Workday consultant should know it. Where you are going to default your organizations. If they want to default it, it's fine. If they didn't want to default it, you can leave it blank as well. It's not a mandatory thing. You can proceed without it as well. But you should, since we are going through the training, you should know that why we are defaulting it and when it will be used or what's the reason we are defaulting it. Now coming to the cost center. Can anyone tell me what's going to be the default cost center for a good corporation? I will open the requirement document quickly. These are the three cost centers. Is the 100, the Agrotech executive? Correct. So this is going to be my executive here. Only supervisory organization, only executive. Since only CEO sits here. So it's going to be the executive cost center. Anyone has any questions related to the defaulting of the organization now? I have one doubt default. The location of the default organization will be only the Hyderabad. So USA we cannot change any other. Only select the default organizations only from the organization that you have allowed here. What I have allowed Agrotech companies here, what all the companies that are included in this company hierarchy. Only Agrotech Germany and Agrotech India here. You can see that. So I can only select out of these two only by, because I have only allowed Agrotech companies to be default allowed here. Germany and India, only Germany and India. If you have included USA here, USA, Agrotech USA also, then I can select Agrotech USA also. Because since you have selected an organization as a group, a company is here. You can only default from the companies that are included here. I hope that it is clear to all how you are going to default organization. Ankita, I have defaulted Agrotech India only for this company part. It's correct. It's correct because of what's the primary location of the supervisory organization. It's Hyderabad. That means India only. All and then for cost center it is as you 100 Agrotech executives. Executive, and this one should be inherited to executive supervisor. Yes, it should get inherited and if you want you can go ahead and change it as well. But I don't need to change anything because those executive parties also in India. Correct. It's same, only India here. You have assigned it WD. Who's that say? You have assigned it here Indian Agrotech Executive. So it's the same for a group, a corporation as well. Once you assign it here, it will get inherited. I think, and so structure is correct. Agrotech Corporation is a superior organization. I have one doubt with respect to the cost center. Can we add a hierarchy cost center to another hierarchy cost center? Yes, you can. Go to the included organization and try to include it. And the same goes with the company, also means hierarchy. Company hierarchy can be one company. Hierarchy can be added to another company added in the time. It is not a company. We can keep on adding that hierarchy means multiple hierarchy whenever you have any doubt in your mind. Just take an ongoing example or your live example. Like for example, I'm just taking Deloitte as an example. Deloitte is the topmost entity now. Deloitte has India, UK and USA. These are the companies, 3 companies under it. Now India can also. They have different companies, like it can have company in Bangalore. It can have company in Hyderabad or location, and then Hyderabad can also have multiple offices there. Correct. So just whenever you have any doubt, I would only suggest you guys. Even I'm also taking the same example. What if it happens to me if I am into that situation? Because it's all about our organization structure, only the organization that you are working. You can take it as a reference. Just try to take the reference. It's in the company that you are working. Fine, I'm reporting to this manager. Now, what's the location of this manager? Which company or organization he belongs? I have one doubt with respect to the same in line. If suppose we have already created a company and it is been like a Hyderabad, what we have taken it up, and that was been there for initial 1 year and afterwards, when we want to make that as an hierarchy can be modified that the company to a company hierarchy. No, you can go ahead and create a new company hierarchy and then we have to create it, but we cannot modify it. No existing data. Whatever you want to change the organization type itself. Here from higher call center to a cause of miss call center to a call center hierarchy. So that only I can add a call center to a call center hierarchy. That cannot be done. So this is in that case, whatever the data related to that call center prior to becoming the hierarchy. Dating in you. All that will get revoked. Or what? No, whatever the call. You are going to create that new company hierarchy with the new effective date. And you are going to inactivate the older one with ineffective. You are not going to delete anything or any of the data. If you are going to delete it, it's going to have an adverse effect on your what we can see on your processing itself. Somewhere, definitely, that particular data is used. How you are going to play with the data in the system. So always remember if you're working in any of the ERP system. I've already told this again. I'm repeating it for working in any of the ERP system you have. You should only delimitate or inactivate the things with an effective date. Never try to delete any data. Even if make it as a habit in your training tenant as well. Even if you are working in your training tenant as well, don't go ahead and delete it, any of the thing. What happens is if someone has already run the payroll for this person, particular employee, and now you are deleting that particular location, so that particular everything will go into error. So don't ever try to do that because lots of things are going on, lots of integration might have happened, or that employee might have fetched, inactivate the earlier location and then create a new one. And then regarding if you can go to the details, you said the default organization members. No organization assignments where you said default organization should be just that part. So how do you do that one? Because I was on phone, I was not able to. So what's the primary location of executive management supervisor organization? It's Hyderabad, yes. Oh, this is going to be a good tech. India company is going already. It is mentioned here that the company is based on supervisor organization primary location. Now coming back to the cost center. It's going to be the functionality. It is mentioned. What's the functionality based on the supervisory organization function? So what's the function of this organization? It's executives. Only executive sits in this. So it's a good tech executive here. Now, so since everyone is with me, I go to corporation is the top most supervisory organization. Then executive management reports to a gooder corporation. And then for executive management, subordinates are Agrotech Logistic and Agrotech Processing Department. These two are the subordinates. It is clearly mentioned here for executive management. Super superior organization is a gooder corporation, and for executive management, subordinates are a good. Logistic and processing department is logistic. Has any of the subordinates as per our requirement? No, there are only 4. So see, only superior organization, executive management, is mentioned here. Neither processing department has any subordinates. You cannot see that subordinates. So you can see that subordinates are the subordinates. Now coming back to our logistic organization. What's the primary location of it is Munich, and Germany is the company and logistic functionality. It's logistic. So core center is logistic. Yes, someone was saying. Only the one, a small portion. So if I mistakenly create any cost center and I don't want it, can I make it inactive? Like the way we do for the supervisor organization. I didn't get it. The cost center. For example, I have created a cost center mistaken day, but that I don't want to use. So I want to make it inactive. Is it possible the way we have done for the supervisor organization? Yes. I didn't find that inactive option something made the if in case logistic has some subordinates. You have to create it from here. Now this is how we have done the organization assignments. And I hope that everyone has done it. All the participants have created the supervisor organization that I'm showing the way. It should be the same that I've shown just now. One question. You said like all managers will be hired one level above. So that does it mean that I cannot hire? I cannot assign the position. I cannot assign the role of manager of the current organization. Does it mean like that? Each supervisor organization will have a manager. See, for example, let me take a few. For example, my manager is silent. Now does it look good? That size sits in the same organization that I am working into. So does it mean that I cannot be the member of? Suppose executive cannot be the member of my organization in which I am now. So I cannot be the member of my organization. And this is not only with Workday, this is with everyone. He cannot sit in the same organization. I assigned a role of manager, suppose, and J as manager. I hired an example. Now let me take an example. I got your point. See here a gooder corporation. Now, who is the manager of the Agrotech corporation? I will go here and I will assign the rules here. Go to the roles tab and assign the role of the manager. That means Sanjaya. If you assign roles, click on the assigned roles and assign Sanjaya as the manager of Agrotech corporation. I said the CEO. I have already told you. I said the CEO rest. Everyone will be hired one level above. Now let's talk about executive management. Or let's talk about logistic. Who is the employee of the logistic? Let me take this example. This will surface your query more appropriately. I can say that logistic, who is the manager of logistic, Agrotech Logistic Lisa. Now manager of logistic is Lisa. And who is the employee of logistic? Narendra. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to Narendra here. And I'm going to hire Lisa in the executive management supervisory organization. Why? Because always remember, the manager will be hired just one level above. The organization with whom? If I assign the member of the same organization as manager, as the role if I assign Narendra as manager of logistic department. If I assign role Narendra as manager of logistic department, it still allows, but it doesn't stop me. It doesn't say that you should only assign the one level, the man, the employee of one level above me. Yes, manager. It doesn't talk only about hiring, guys. Only remember, I'm talking only about hiring. Manager will be hired one level above the super, which is. Here Lisa is managing which? Supervisory organization logistics. So if she is managing the logistic, she cannot sit in that organization. So she will be hired only in the executive management, and we can assign Lisa here as the manager to the logistic. It's a small dog here. For the executive management, super, or we have defaulted as India Company India. How can we hire Lisa for Germany Company there? That is the only organization we are defaulting. We are not. We haven't set. Hiring will only be set based on the position restrictions that you have given when you are creating the positions. Remember, if you have given the location is Hyderabad there when you are creating the position, that means you are setting up the restrictions that only the employees based on the position. Hyderabad will be hired. If you are defaulting the organization, that doesn't mean that you are defaulting the hiring only for that particular organization. So we can still select Germany Company there. See here, when you are going to the staffing, you are creating the position. Cancel. See here, only the job restrictions we are giving. If you are, either you have to select, try to submit it, either you have to select no job restriction. I don't want any job restrictions for my position that I'm going to create for my supervisory organization. But if I give the location here as Hyderabad, then that means I am giving some restrictions to my position. Only employees on the Hyderabad location can be hired. If I give any restrictions to my position and creating the position, if I give the restrictions here is location as Hyderabad. That means only Hyderabad location. I cannot. Yes, you. If you are defaulting the organization, you are not restricting the hiring. But if you are, that's what hiring restrictions. It's here hiring restrictions. We are setting up restrictions on our position. If we have set any restrictions, then only with that particular location, only we can hire it. You won't get that option whenever you are hiring the employee. If I have said Hyderabad, you won't get any location apart from Hyderabad when you are hiring the employee on that position. We'll only apply with respect to this point. Can you update on the availability date and earlier hire date, how that works? On the top availability date means when this position will be available in our system, or yes, hire date means when I can hire any employee in this particular position. Then the position will be under the unavailable to fill tab. Remember when tab was there unavailable to fill, if I have given the date as for example 2021 and 2024, that means 1st of February. If I am looking into my supervisory organization, if I'm going to look this position under my agrotech executive management supervisory organization, I will see this position under unavailable to fill tab. That means my position is not available to fill now. Even if I will give the earliest hire date as 2024, that means starting from 2024, I can hire 29th January 2024. I can hire any employee, but my position won't be available. That means hiring also. I cannot do it because my position itself is not available. It will be available starting only from 1st of February. So that's the only availability days as 26th of January, a backdated one, and keep the earliest hire date as suppose of 30th of December. This is a system will throw an error. 12th of December system will throw an error because if I want to hire that associate, last one today, you won't get that option in your create position. Whenever you are how you are going to hire go, you will go to the position related actions and you will click on the hire employee. You won't get that hire employee option is done because your earliest hire date is 21st of January 2024. So see, these are the types of what we can say issues that comes up whenever you are working in a project. Your HR will come back and say that see, I'm boss. I'm unable to hire. Can you please help me in initiating getting the hire? So if you don't know the root to cause, what's how you are going to carry out the hire? Now, since you have asked it, this is one of the scenario that you can face whenever you are working in a maintenance project. Your HR will come to you and say that I'm not able to hire. So you immediately what you have to do is being a consultant. You should know that definitely it's going to be data. So because the position, you can see it here. You can see the position is there, but by that particular person is not. So this should come to your mind. So this will come when you will work more and more, or you explore more and more, or you explore the tenant more and more. But in that case, I also did the same thing. It also showed me an error on the state. I will try it. I try one more time, and because if I will go ahead with this, it will amper this what we can say this hierarchy. I will just show you that through that as well. So now I hope usually the availability and the earliest high date needs to be the same only. We used to keep it the same. Only if you will look into the already existing, if you have access to your client tenants, you will see that it's almost the same. Only they don't differ with the availability or the hire date. Can you go to the tenant map? Just go to the supervisor organization. I am into that logistic. Oh no, the cooperation. So now you see cooperation as a supervisory and then subordinate is executive management. Click on executive management map. Then you got the sub box which is agrotech, logistics and processing department. So in agrotech, logistics and processing department the profile would be job management. And when the position would be job management and the superior organizations, and I could take executive management is position management. If you see that, executive management is a requirement. I got a logistic and processing has job management. Yes, correct. Can you go to the tenant? Hold on. Let me look into the requirement and GoTake will have topmost organization with the position management. So I will be subordinate to it and will use position. Fine. Only both of them are using the job management. Then in logistics and logistics organization, we cannot do a create profile or assign roles. We cannot do that because go to the related actions out there. You cannot do the create position because this is job management is tapping model. How you're going to create we do not get that. Yes, you won't get that. Create position because position will only be created in the position management staffing models. Man, can a job management be converted to a position management? Yes, but now you cannot convert it because you have already taken a staffing action on it. You have already created a job profile here. For this one, you have already created it. You can get it. You can change your staffing model till the time you haven't taken any staffing action on. It means you haven't created position. Neither you have created a job profile. Since you have taken the staffing on action already, this should be blank. Ideally, no staffing action means this would be blank. Only the staffing model job management will be mentioned. Now coming to our compensation structure. Now why you guys are stuck up in the compensation structure? I have already told you, even I mentioned in the checklist also blank. Blindly follow the activity document that I have. It's the perfect one. I can say you guys, it's a perfect one. That if anywhere you are going to work, you have to only simply follow the activity documents. That's universal. I can say that now, coming back to our compensation requirement here. Now what it is mentioned here. Agritech want all compensation grades to be tied directly to an into. Just interrupt me if you didn't get anything. Means if you have any doubt, just interrupt me in between. Agrotech want all compensation grades to be tied directly to job profiles of the worker. That's self-understood. I have already told you that whenever you are creating the job profiles, you have to attach the compensation grades and management level. Management level. So that if it is not at all mentioned also, then also you guys are going to do that. So this is null and void for us because we know that now everyone in our class knows that we have to attach the compensation, grade and management level to our job profile. So this is we are not bothered about it. Small doubt here. Yes, how many job profiles need to be created with respect to this data, sample data given? Who can tell me this file again? Common job profiles. How many should be created? I have to do your profile stuff. To be how many? So management level and non-management level. I have created. No, I have created 5. Who is that? Who has created 5, Ravina? Yes, it's correct. It's clearly written here job profiles in the employee data table, job profiles. Agrotech CEO Agrotech, EVP Processing Agrotech, VP Logistic Agrotech Processing Coordinator Agrotech Logistic Engineer. All these 5 job profiles are there. So why do I do? I don't know. For instance, if I go for Funcer, it's clearly. I also created 5 job profiles. Only as far as we have created 5 job profiles and then we segregated to non-management and management, where non-management, there are 2. Not only about compensation eligibility rules. I'm not segregating the job profile. Job profile means Agrotech, CEO, EVP Processing, VP Logistic Processing Coordinator. And no. It's the compensation grade that we are. Yes, so your compensation grades only. I'm just asking about the job profile. So you have to create 5 job profiles: CEO, EVP Processing, VP Logistic Processing Coordinator, and Logistic Engineers. I hope that everyone is clear with the creation of the job profiles. Now it has clearly mentioned Agrotech has one compensation package, Agrotech compensation package, where the eligibility is all Agrotech Infotech employees are eligible. Now what's my first thing is compensation package name. Compensation package name is this. I'm not going to create the Agro compensation package now. Why? Because my activity documents of compensation. I would only go with the words that I've said earlier as well. My activity document says that first I have to create the eligibility rules. This is going to be the name of my compensation package. And what's my eligibility? All Agrotech Infotech employees are eligible. I'm going to write it down somewhere. How do you create that rule for that? Like call it first. First, let me just have that data ready and then I will show you. Now it will take a salary plan. We are all Agrotech employees. Infotech employees are eligible, called a good tech salary plan. My salary plan is a good tech salary plan here also. What's my? This is my salary plan. Fine, and what's going to be? My eligibility for the salary plan is. It's all same on the compensation package. All agrotech infotech employees are eligible. All is same only. Both the eligibility are same salary plan and my package. Eligibility. I'm just going line by line. All grades should have INR as default currencies with compensation element of value, base pay and annual frequency. Now coming to our grade. NIC grade. If they have given you the default currency, whenever you are going to create the compensation grade, they have given you the default currency and the compensation element, base pay and annual frequency. Correct already? So what's my grade names are? My grades are Agrotech Management and Agrotechnon Management. It's clearly mentioned in the tabular format as well. I'm going to create these grades. Already told grades don't have any eligibility attached to them. We are directly going to attach them in the job profile. So no eligibility for these two grades. Now, since we know that whenever we are creating the grades, we have one second tab, the profile tabs. Under that, we are going to create these two grade profiles for each grade, compensation grade. AGM and AGM Germany. Both for Agrotech Management as well as for Agrotech. Non-management as well. These are the grade files. How you are going to create it, follow the activity documents. Grade Pearl. Now under that, you have to fill all these data. You know that it is clearly mentioned here that default currency is INR and the competition unit is based on annual frequency. Now what is the next line? That is written make your eligibility. Rules for compensation. Components to default based on management level, location, supervisory organization, etc. as suitable. That means they have already given you the hint that you have to create your eligibility rules based on what it is mentioned here. What all eligibility that is mentioned here in the requirement documents. These are the lines I'm telling you. These are the things that are confusing. So that's why first, whenever you get any kind of requirement, just write down your raw data first. This is called as data analysis. They have clearly mentioned, make your eligibility as suitable. See, in between they have inserted a lot of things, compensation components, to default based on the management. And here what they have written is as suitable. That means what they want to say is, rules for come to default based on the management level. That means you have to do, they are mentioning it, you have to attach a management level to job profiles. That we know already location. That means they are talking about the grade profiles and the eligibility. Localization. Remember, we have studied it. What's grade profile means? Why we are doing the grade profile configuration? It's localization, compensation, localization grade, localization, supervisory organization. Here, they have already mentioned it clearly that it is all Agrotech Infotech employees are eligible. That means your supervisory or topmost. If you are going to include the top of supervisory organization, that means all your Agrotech employees will be eligible, should be eligible. Whenever you are going to create your eligibility rules, you have to include all the employees, you have to include all your supervisory organizations or your topmost Agrotech corporation. That means all your Agrotech employees will be included in the compensation eligibility rules. So they have simply modified the lines and you guys got confused. See as suitable, etc. As suitable. Try to break down the things that they are mentioned. Try to break down the words. I can say that. Now what they have told is non-management are considered below director management level. That means you are not going to include director because they haven't told that director and below director. They have clearly mentioned below director. That means all that management level. Yes, manager and below. Yes, manager and below, fine. So now these are the lines. I have simply break down the words and you can see the data ready here. Now I have one more thing. Let allowance plan. What's my allowance plans? Plan is Agritech newspaper allowance. I'm going to mention it here. My allowance plan is Agritech newspaper allowance. Now, why would it is saying, what's my eligibility? It's non-management employees. This is going to be my non-management employees eligibility groups. Now it is clearly mentioned in my requirements. I meant that non-management means director and above. So whenever I'm going to create my eligibility rules, I'm going to include the management level, manager and below. I'm going to include manager as well because it's director and below. Now what's my first step? If you open your activity document of compensation, it clearly mentioned that first of all you have to create the compensation eligibility rules. Now, can anyone tell me how many eligibility rules I have to create? For my paper, for my this Agritech corporation, how many eligibility rules I have to create for the compensation? Can anyone tell me looking at the raw data? I have created 4 actually eligibility rules. I didn't even initially to have created. Then I have thought that let's have country also to be an eligible. Why? Why? 2. First is management and non-management as a 2 eligibility rule with the distinguishing of the designation and then with the country also have created. What's the need of? What's the need of that? See, if you have created it will lie somewhere, but where you are going to assign that eligibility rules, a management one, because it's nowhere needed. You will create it, it will lie there, but you are not going to attach it to your what we can say to your compensation structure. It's not needed in your Agritech corporation structure from compensation structure here. We have bifurcated our all needs, all our compensation components, compensation package, salary, grade, profiles, and your spinal lines. So we only need all a group of tech info tech employees. This and this will be used if I create one. I'm going to use it in my salary plan as well because it's same, only all a group of tech, info tech employees, all a group of tech. And now grade profile localization automatically. It will be existing there and here I'm going to create non-management employees. So to all a group of tech, info tech employees are eligible and second one I'm going to create that will include non-management. So first I will go there. I will click Create Compensation Rule. First one, it's going to be mine. I can say that. If you want to, can give any other name. So I can give the name as Ankita and all a group of tech employees. Now, what's going to be my source field? Can anyone tell me? Your company, if you want to take a test, this one. The requirement of what it is written. See what? What it is saying is all a group of tech employees are eligible. So first one should be management level on all. That means my supervisory organization. If I'm going to include the supervisory organization, that means all the employees. I want all my employees top. One supervisory for compensation is on the top, correct? So it's going to be my. That's what I was scrolling because since it is compensation, I'm going to include. I'm creating compensation eligibility rules. So definitely you have to take the compensation source field into account. Now, what's going to be my relation? Operator in the selection list. In the selection list any. In the selection list koi bhi anyone. Any in the selection list. So now include your all. Supervisory organization. I haven't created it, so I won't get it. For example, let me include this corporation and I'm going to include this executive. Means you have to include all your 4 supervisory organizations. Now everyone agree me, since I haven't created it. I haven't included it, but you have to include your corporation, executive, logistic and your processing department. All the 4 supervisory organizations. So this one first compensation eligibility rule is created for me, everyone with me. Any doubts creation of the eligibility rule? So similarly what you have to do it again, go back and click first. You create this, click on. Save it. Now again go back and create the second one. Only two needs to be created non-management employees. Now Ankita underscore non-management deploys clearly mentioned that director in below. What I'm going to select here. External field is going to be management level. And that to the compensation 1C. Since I'm creating the compensation eligibility, any in the selection list, I'm going to select all director and below. What all the director and below? It's 5 is the director. So it's going to be manager, supervisor, individual contributor. So these three will be there. Click on and this is your second eligibility rules. Only two needs to be created based on our requirements. So now yes, I grow tech management grade. Don't we need to create any eligibility rule for management levels? I want someone else to answer it. What man? Can you repeat it? Management. She say no eligibility. No eligibility for grades. Grades don't need any eligibility. I've told it multiple times. Grade be attached to the job profile. No eligibility for no eligibility needs to be created. For grade, always remember it will be attached to the job profile until and unless it's specifically mentioned by your client. Otherwise, Workday doesn't. Don't recommend to attach eligibility to the compensation grade. Now when? So we are just assigning the compensation grade. So when the actual salary will be assigned to the employee. When you will be hiring. When you will be hiring the employee, salary will be assigned when you will be hiring the employee. Only the compensation. So in the hiring there is some option like salary. So that is yes, yes. Salary will be, definitely you have to once you are hiring, the employee salary you will get the compensation grade there. You will get the default one, the compensation package, compensation grade, and then the salary plan if it is salaried employee. So you will get that, but salary you have to go to the plan. If I am giving the salary less than the compensation, whatever is mentioned in the compensation grade, it will not allow. No, it will allow. I've already told you, it will give you an alert. If you are giving greater than the range, if you are giving less than the range, it will give you an alert. That's it. It will allow you to save it. It will just give an alert to the concerned person that you are giving less salary or than the pay range. You are giving greater salary than the pay range. So if at all they want to go back and cross-check with the manager, they can go back and cross-check with the manager before submitting it. So now just one more doubt. Like you have selected supervisory in this whole field as supervisory organization and selected all the 4 supervisory. Instead of that, suppose we select company and add both the company Agritech India and Agritech Germany in that. So what will be the impact? Because while doing this one, I have selected company instead of the company as well. But what happens is if you are going to use this company somewhere else in your some other supervising organization, then it will fetch those employees as well. The employees from the other supervisory organization as well. And sorry to interrupt. This is not for Agritech management. Grade, it is like grade profiles. It's a mandatory field to give eligibility rule there. That's what I'm referring to. Yes means I didn't get it. Grade profile. Definitely it's a localization and you will get it country India, country Germany. It's defaulted by it's delivered by Workday itself. No need to create those eligibility management. We are not no clear management. In grade profile, they have asked for eligibility rule. It's a mandate. I'm going to that. So everyone done with the eligibility rule. No questions for the eligibility rules. Correct. Now I'm going to create. Next step, when you refer to the compensation activity document, is create the compensation. So I'm going to create it automatically. It will give us a default. Select any means the effective date that you are creating it. Use grade profile. Don't forget to select this. Click on. Now give all the relevant thing. Relevant thing, base pay elements, is already mentioned in your requirement document. It's going to be base pay currency. It's going to be INR and then frequency, and will frequency now coming to our compensation grade profiles. That's what you guys what are talking about. No need to give any eligibility rules for your C. It's not mandatory. Also, what you do? The composition grade profile. So compensation grade, skip it now. Compensation grade profile. Coming to it, grade profile name, you are going to give it base pay, element base pay, and here eligibility rules. What is the eligibility rules? It's mentioned there. If, since always remember compensation grade profiles, means you are localizing your compensation grades. You cannot give the same salary that you are giving in dollars to the employer. You are working here in India. It needs to be in INR. So Workday gives us this beautiful opportunity. We can give our compensation grades based on the local, we can localize them. So here you are going to, if I'm going to set the salary ranges for an India employee, select the India only. Country India as the eligibility rules. If you are selecting it for France, select it for France. Give the eligibility rules as France. It will localize your grade profiles based on the France country, based on the India country. So here you are going to give those eligibility rules only based on the country. Since grade profile is localization, always remember, localization of the compensation grade. Everyone with me? Any questions? Any questions related to compensation grade and grade profiles? The procedure, see Ankita. The procedure would be when you're doing the compensation structure. So see, I know you're going through the assignment sheet, but for us what I have written it down and then create eligibility rule, create compensation grade profile, create allowance plan, create salary plan, create compensation package. After that, then you create the job profile, and under job profile, do the compensation grade profile and then the management level. After you do this, then you connect all the dots. I was that approach. So you are clear with this structure compensation, then job profile, assign the compensation grade, then hire the employee. Once you are hiring the employee, automatically your compensation package. If your configuration is correct, your compensation package grade will be defaulted. Then whenever you are hiring the employee, see here, this is the BP that you have created. This is the BP that you have created. For your hiring, and your higher BP will definitely have the proposed compensation higher step. Without that, you won't be able to assign the compensation to the employee. That is step itself is missing. Then you won't be able to assign your compensation. Is the error. So if you are hiring any employee, definitely that step would be there in your higher BP. If you go to any tenant compensation, proposed compensation higher will definitely be there. So here only the salary will be assigned in the proposed compensation. Yes, salary. You are going to only ranges you will define in the compensation package. No salary, you are only the salary part. You are going to define it there itself. Only see a proposed compensation. How is the HR partner here? HR partner is a concerned group. HR partner will give the salary there, only the salary part. You will edit it and you will give the salary. HR partner will give the salary. Any questions to the compensation grade and grade profile, grade name and grade profile? These both we have to create separately. No means profile, same when you are going to create the grade. It will give you the grade profile option as well. Remember, this name is management and non-management. Yes, your paper. It's clearly mentioned grade name is a good management and a good non-management, and grade profile name is a GRUM India, a GRUM Germany, and then for non-management, a GR, M India and a GO, M Germany. Also, I have created with the name of a GRUM India, Germany, and then a GRUM India and Germany. Yes. So this is the only yes. This is the name only we can give, not management, non-management. No. It's only name, only an eligibility for grade profile. You can select based on the India since it is a localization. No, I mean see the question out. Here is on guitar. See the grade and the grade profile. The grade is the agritech management and non-management. The gate. All the grade profile when you see it's the Agam India and a GRUM Germany. Yes, and on management it is so. So what you're going to create the second grade, and then under that you're going to create these two grade profiles. So there will be two grades. Yes, two grades from two grades, and each grade will have two grade profiles. So first of all, candidate will apply via internal or external job posting like we are doing. Internal means if I am working in Deloitte. So what I will do is I will some internal opening is there in a project. I will apply to that internal job posting. So that is known as internal. The candidate will apply internal or external job posting means if I am externally applying to any vacancy in Deloitte. I'm not working in Deloitte, but I want to apply to a vacancy in Deloitte. So I will apply through LinkedIn or any kind of social media, any kind of referral. So that is known as external job posting. Then, once the candidate has clicked on the link or something like that, they filled all the details. Then it will go for review whether that particular profile is needed in our organization or not, whether that fits for that particular job posting or not. Then they will screen the profile. Then it will go for if your company has some kind of assessment that needs, for example, Deloitte needs to have some kind of assessment. Some mandatory assessment that needs to be done, or some kind of MCQ or some kind of examination assessment that needs to be taken care of. Then the candidate will go through the assessment stage. Once it cleared the assessment stage, it is cleared by that particular security group that this employee has cleared it. Then you will go for interview. You might have gone through all these stages whenever you are switching your jobs. Then your pre-offer will be there. The person will call you, HR will have a discussion with you. That this much we are offering. You will negotiate it. That stage is known as pre-offer stage. And then you will go to the offer stage. Offer will be given. Then we go to the background check stage. They will initiate your background check. They will ask you for the various details related to your background. All your employment details, all your education details, whether you have any criminal background or something like that. They will have some background form, and then they will initiate your background check. Then they will go for ready for hire means now the employee is ready for hire. They will create your pre-hire. The one that I was talking about, create your pre-hire. Pre-hire will be created. Then ultimately, finally, you will be hired or transfer action. What do you mean by transfer? Action means if I am applying internally, then I need to be transferred from one supervisory organization to the one that I have already applied. And hire means if I am applying externally, then I need to get hired in that particular supervisory organization. So this is the full life cycle. If someone asks you, and remember, if anything that needs time, we are creating a to do for the same in our hire business process. For example, background check. If any kind of ready for hire, they will mention that this is to do. That means once the background check is completed, it's not something that needs to be done in the what? It's need to be taken care of externally. Once it is completed, then the HR partner will do it as completed, mark it as submitted, completed. So this is the full cycle of candidate that I was referring to you at the start. Now you should have that visibility, how all the things happens within the system. Any questions or? Yes, for a hire, you need to do a pre-hire first and then do the hire ready exactly. And can we see that before creating the pre-hire, you cannot create a hire? Remember, whenever you are hiring an employee, it will tell you to search. That means you have to enter the first name and the last name. So how it is going to search in the tenant? If you have entered some first name or last name, it won't fetch until that create pre-hire or that pre-hire exists in the tenant. So before hiring, you have to create the pre-hire. Now, is it see the to-do thing that you told me about pre-hire and the background check when your part to do? But still they are doing the background check. And then when not in the stipulated time, and then it has skipped the stipulated time after 2 weeks. Also, they haven't got back. You cannot do a hire. No, you can do it higher. It's a two-step to do. Step always come after the completion step. Workday account creation step. That's what to do. Step means it will be done. It will take some time. Sometimes it happens that background check takes time or the team is busy with some other work or some other responsibilities. It will take around 1 to 2 months. I've seen people getting fired out of the organization even after 2 months because their background check has failed. Ankita, I have created pre-hire and I am kind of stuck with the hire process. So I'll try to fix it. If it is not possible, will you help us? Like, will you show us in detail, like how it is happening? Yes, sure. Sure. First try from your end. First complete all the process, all the configuration. Then we will discuss it like we have discussed today. We can discuss it that as well. So any further questions? Mom, one question. Yes, in the diagram that you showed. The full cycle. C candidate can apply by internal or external. Internal. Yes, we are. We are able to understand the external site where its carriers or Indeed or Nokati come. How does that? How does Workday take that data into consultation? How does it extract and put it into your Workday client? So that is something done by the recruitment consultants. They will have that link, and once they click on the link, it will give them a temporary username and password. And then they will log in using that username or password, or they will directly, for if you are applying externally, no need of that username or password because we were testing it, so I have done that. You will click that. It will open a form menu. Once you save it, it will automatically get first in the Pro Workday. But they will. The people who are applying, they will have. They'll only be applying to the external side only, but internally the recruiters would be working on Workday and doing their job either as a viewer. Yes. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.